All right, here we are with four-time All-American Angel Escobedo. And first off, Angel, got to talk about that fifth-place finish at the World Championships over there in Hungary.
Yeah. I think it was a good performance considering, I was kind of the last-minute kind of shoe-in. Also, I think I made a lot of strides from being second in the U.S. to fifth in the world. So I think it was a decent tournament. I could have done better, but it's things that I have to work on, and it's a great stepping stone to the Olympics.
Obviously, you just mentioned the Olympics, Rio 2016. What kind of training, what kind of competition you got before you get a shot at the Rio 2016 in that tryout?
Right. So every year we have World Championships that are held in September. That's our big tournament, and then in between those we have international tournaments and domestic tournaments that we try to do, kind of tune up before the World Championships every year, and then finally, the year 2016 is when we'll have our Olympic trials and get ready. I think Olympic trials probably be in April or something to determine the team. So, every year I'm doing all these tournaments internationally and domestically, and then World Championships in September.
And as the whole wrestling community knows, wrestling got voted out of the Olympics for a couple months there, but of course the wrestling community, strong together, got it going. It's back for 2020. Talk about just the community, the entire wrestling group getting together and fighting to get their sport back in the Olympics.
Right. I think it just showed how strong our wrestling community is. We had a big outcry, public outcry. A lot of actors, a lot of famous people were just coming out, supporting wrestling. And it was great to see. I think in the positive side of things, even though it was kind of negative, positive is it did bring wrestling to the mainstream. ESPN, various other TV shows, CNN, covered wrestling and the whole issue of getting it dropped. A lot of people could see that wrestling is such an important sport, and it was since in the beginning of the Olympics. No one wants to see it go, and we saw that happen with the voting this year.
And social media played a big part in getting wrestling back in the Olympics. Talking about social media, let's get you a little Twitter pub, some plug. What's your Twitter handle so Hoosier fans can follow you?
Yeah, at Driven2Dominate, and then the 2 is number 2.
Perfect. And let's go along, still following along with the program. Do you follow along the Hoosier program to this day?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I'm a Hoosier all the way to the day I die. So I still follow the wrestling team, and I follow them on Twitter every single tournament they go to and stuff. I'm always going to support Indiana wrestling and Indiana University as a whole, and I just hope great things for them in the future.
And dating back to your high school days, what about IU influenced you to come up here to Bloomington to wrestle?
I mean, just staying in Indiana with the wrestling tradition, I think I did a lot for Indiana as far as high school wrestling. Being a 4-time state champion, I didn't want to leave the state. I wanted the community to be able to watch me here in Indiana and grow up. And now I'm on the world stage, and they could probably say that I went to Indiana University and I, kept my talents inside of the state.
What's your fondest memory on the mat at Indiana?
Obviously, it's going to have to be my national championship. I think that was great, being able to win a national title for Indiana University, and that was great. And also just being able to see my cousin All-American also at Indiana University. All
right, talk about your fondest memory here at IU off the mat.
Off the mat, gosh. I don't know, maybe the Dwayne workouts, like running into his house and back. I remember we had to run that hill and probably like 10 times, and the hill's really steep. I think that's always ingrained in my mind for some reason. I hate the hills of Indiana. I hate them down in Bloomington.
In addition to your Twitter page, how else can Hoosier Nation follow along how Angel Escobedo is doing in his career and your progress towards your next goal, hopefully Rio 2016?
Right. Yeah, I have a website, angelescobedo.com. That feeds into my Facebook, my Twitter, and also my schedule. So you'll be able to see what tournaments I'm wrestling at, how I've done, and what I've done so far.
All right, Angel, all of us back here in Bloomington, proud that you're a Hoosier and an alumni. Thanks for taking a few minutes and taking some questions from us.
Yeah, no problem, man. It was a pleasure talking.